Hello, hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao, Namaste. Part 2 of the natural and unnatural of jealousy and envy. This is part 2 of the envy. And what you have to realize when we're saying it's the same thing, envy and jealousy, no matter the Latin term is invidira. But what jealousy is more in the sense of an uncontrollable anger from desire and what most people might not realize about that uncontrollable anger is when we talk about, for instance, competition. Why is competition not really important? I won't get into too much detail because I will be making a video more in detail of competition, but competition allows someone to be a winner and someone to be a loser. It's been our way of thinking that that is completely it. There's nothing else and that competition is good for everyone. Yet, if it doesn't benefit the entire of everybody, then how is it beneficial to the whole? Many people might say, well, it helps people grow and get to where they truly want to go and make tough skin, and that's good and all. That's fantastic. But the thing is, there's an entire world out there that we could be sharing with, and we believe that there are winners and losers. But the truth is, the game's over. The game's over simply because of the simple fact that what jealousy, the unnatural emotion of what you are, does is when creating winners or losers, you have people who grow extremely jealous, sometimes to the point of what we would call violent behavior. This violent behavior is simply because of the fact that no one has the chance to win, or even for the factor of, even if we had these games, if they were more taught and prone to be taught in a sense of evolving and growing a person, no matter who they are, it would be more beneficial to the whole. And it's not about a good handshake, good job and everything, but simply actually teaching someone how to grow themselves even more. It would be more beneficial and growing who we are. And what jealousy also does is simply this. In history, it has caused very dangerous things to happen to people in certain countries and certain places of the world. For instance, in America, during the Cold War, there was a race to see who had the strongest weapons and who would be strong enough or quick enough to go to the moon. Because of that, there could have been a violent war. And not only that, if we even go past that when we talk about World War II, during that time, because of the jealousy of who the so-called race that people call the Jews and the so-called race people call the Germans, the hatred that the people had against the Jews was thought to be because of what they owned. People grew jealous because of the simple fact that they found it unfair. When we see it that way, you realize, when you observe very closely, you see that wars have been started. People and relationships have harmed people. Nations alone have fallen due to jealousy. When we talk about relations, for example, as I was stating earlier, many people get to a point when we talk about jealousy where they allow their emotions become their thoughts. And allowing that to happen gives us a figment of imagination which can run wild. And with that figment, it's almost as though we have something in the back of our head whispering, you know that they're out there just doing all sorts of things. They're probably with some other person. They're not good enough for you. Or it could simply be that you're not good enough for them. And you think these things through anger, wondering why would they do this? I hope they're not doing this. You worry about this. And the best way to get past that is to meditate. A friend of mine said, don't complicate, meditate. When you take the time to meditate, you take the complication out of what is going on in your life, especially in a relationship. For me personally, I've had plenty of relationships when I was younger where I was extremely jealous. But what I started doing, especially as I was growing, was I would go for walks quietly. You can do meditations where you walk quietly and meditate. You can do what I do even today. I'd go and do meditation where I'll sit in nature, I'll sit in a room in darkness and quietly just meditate and not think. This would be called mindful meditation. And once I do this, I realize the illusion within. It allows you to know the deepest part of who you are. When we talk about the Kabbalion or the Emerald Tablets, as above, so below. If you don't go within, you will go without. And many people out there go without. And you have to take the time to go within yourself when meditating and realize that all that you feel is an illusion. And instead of deciding to become jealous with that person, take the time to build up that bond between you two and understanding each other. Be very open-minded about it and open about everything. And be honest with that person about who you truly are and who you desire to evolve being in this experience between you two in this relationship, no matter who you are. Growing that within yourself is going to benefit you in the long run instead of creating something very negative that it's unnecessarily needed. It's unneeded in growing a relationship and growing any relationship, no matter what it is that you're trying to grow. It could be with family, it could be with friends, it could be boyfriend or girlfriend, it could be husband or wife. It doesn't matter. It could be partner. It does not matter. But in growing that love instead of that jealousy, you learn much more about who you truly are and loving yourself. In my years, as I said, I was a very jealous person, but what I did was I took the time to walk away and stop being jealous. This is something extremely hard for most people because of the simple fact that many people tell you it's a natural thing to be jealous, but at the same time you have to understand, and that's give or take, by the way, the person. Most people don't like jealousy. And this can tell you a lot that how unnatural jealousy is of who you truly are. So taking the time to meditate, taking the time to sit down and love yourself first, and on top of that, taking the time to see what you're eating that could be affecting you and you're drinking. When you see this, and this is why I tell people, take the vegan challenge, whether it's 7 days, 14 days, 20 days, whatever you can do, take the vegan challenge and grow from it in your own health and finding out what works for you. By experimenting what's going on with you personally, you find what's really going on, and you see the illusion for what it is, and finding more of who you are as the God, the goddess, and creator within. And remember that to know thyself is to know the creator within. So to everybody out there, have a good morning. Have a fantastic evening. And a fantastic afternoon. Namaste.